Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. It's Joe, and it's time for a Pocket with Joe. Wow, I can't believe it's already January 7th. My son's birthday is actually tomorrow, but I'm celebrating his Australian birthday today. So big shout out to my son, Connor. He's turning 19. I don't know how I have a 19-year-old. It blows my mind every day. Big shout out. Good morning to Matt. Thanks for joining us. Let's make some freaking money today. Now we got lots of games on the ice. We've already got that one started between the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils. Now, I hope you guys did see my post. I posted on the community over here at YouTube, and I posted on Twitter to take the Rangers at plus 100. The Rangers really have dominated against the New Jersey Devils. So if you haven't got in on the Rangers yet, wait for the Devils to score because we know the Devils are able to put up those points. I got Jack Hughes for that anytime goal. We're going to keep riding him until he stops scoring for us. He got 2 goals in the last one. We're still getting plus money with Jack Hughes for that anytime goal, plus 152. So I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's going to be a good game. Now, yesterday on the ice, my Calgary Flames pulled off the win. I had so much doubt in them over the Islanders. It was actually kind of funny. I had my mother chirping me, like seriously chirping me. I was live on Sports Grid and she was sending me message after message, posting on Facebook how the Flames were up and winning. She was at the game. Anytime my mom's at the game, the Flames win. Now, she didn't give me that heads up, so I blame that pick on her yesterday, but we still made some good money on the ice. We got the Nashville Predators. They were plus 140. We were able to get them over the Washington Capitals on the road. We got the Florida Panthers in 60. I think we got that at plus 100. Got the Winnipeg Jets as well, you guys. We hit those 3 bets nice and perfectly with the Winnipeg Jets getting that win. Now, that game was an interesting one. I think the total fell to 5.5. Depending where you got that total yesterday depends on if you pushed or you lost that bet because Winnipeg winning that one 4-2. Now, we didn't get the Arizona Coyotes. The Chicago Blackhawks broke their losing streak. They lost those 5 in a row, then finally got the win. And then the Anaheim Ducks did get the win. The home dog, we got plus money with them yesterday over the San Jose Sharks. That one flew over the total. Guys, yesterday was a super positive day on the ice. So congratulations to anyone who made money on the ice yesterday. We're going to do it again today. Starting out strong with the New York Rangers taking on the New Jersey Devils. Again, if you're just joining us, I did take the Rangers earlier at plus 100. This Devils team is a hard team to beat. The Rangers just seem to be able to get it done. Now, the next game on the ice doesn't kick off until 4 o'clock Eastern, so you guys have plenty of time to get this one in. We have the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Such a difference in levels of talent on both of these teams. The Carolina Hurricanes coming in here at minus 345 on that money line. So we know we can't bet that straight up. And these are one of those games where you look at it, you're throwing the Carolina Hurricanes on the money line in a parlay. It's kind of one of those games that could lose for you. No one expecting the Canes here to lose. I don't expect them to lose, but we know weird things happen in hockey. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets are just playing not good hockey. They're sitting 8th in the Metro. We've got the Canes first in the Metro. I really do expect this one to be not a case where the Canes overlook them. Come out, play strong. Now, they are only 10-12 on the road on that puck line. I just am not seeing the value. The only way I could take them is here on the puck line at minus 125. But this kind of looks like a really weird game here. Such differences where we know Columbus would love to step up. I just don't think they get it done. They do have the talent. This team has the worst power play, though, in the league. Their defense is really shooting them in the foot. Corpustello expected here for them in goal. I just don't love this game. Honestly, if you have to take it, Canes on that puck line minus 1.5 at minus 125, I think is the way to go. The road team 7-3 in the last 10 meetings. The Canes have won 7 of the last 8 meetings, 4-0 in the last 4 meetings in Columbus, and 7-1 in the last 8 meetings for the favorite, which is the Canes again in this one. I don't know. You guys, you don't have to bet it. I would stay off of it. I could see Columbus somehow pulling off the upset, digging deep, trying to get this win, but it's Canes or no one for me. Now, the Detroit Red Wings and the Toronto Maple Leafs kick off at 7 o'clock Eastern. We got a better battle on the ice here with these two teams. Now, this total is coming in at 6.5. Hellberg expected here for the Red Wings. We really haven't seen much out of him. When we look at the Red Wings here, they are averaging over 3 goals per game and 29.7 shots on goal. So they are playing strong offensively. Defensively, they're really letting themselves down, allowing that 3.32 and 31.2 shots on goal. They've lost their last 2 games, you guys. They're sliding right now. Now they're sitting 6th in the Atlantic. This is a battle of the Atlantic with the Toronto Maple Leafs coming in here second. Now, Samsonov is already confirmed for the Maple Leafs. He's 11-3-1 on the season. He's been playing absolutely phenomenal hockey. Now, it's hard to not take the Leafs here. They've lost their last 2 games. This team is so phenomenally strong at home. They've gone 13-3-3-1 at home so far this season, and I think they get their 14th win. Now, when these 2 teams last matched up back in November, the Toronto Maple Leafs got the win and able to cover that puck line. It was a 4-2 win. And I expect the same sort of style of game here. If you like the Leafs on that puck line at -1.5, it's not great value though at -130. This is another one where it's a really chalky day on the ice. You've got clear-cut favorites, and you're going to pay juice for them to cover this puck line here. Now, I was trying to find a way to make money and make better value here with the Leafs. I looked at their team total, hitting it over 3.5 is -160. So no value there. I looked at the Red Wings team total under, because I do think what we've seen out of the Leafs defensively, the Red Wings really are going to struggle to score in this one. Hitting the Red Wings team total under 2.5 is -160 as well. The book's giving us no way to really make a lot of value here on the Toronto Maple Leafs. I do think this is a 4-0 style game, but we know Toronto, if they all of a sudden just open up and come out firing nice, hard, and fast to start this game, this could be a game where they go over the total just on their own, sitting at 6.5. I don't trust it enough to hit that under. I'm finding a hard place to make value in this one. So this is another game where I'm happy to stay off. You know, Toronto should cover that puck line, but there is no value in this game. Benji, I am so glad we are in agreement with this. It's just one of those games where you got a really strong team playing a team that is not playing well at the moment, and that home team should dominate on home ice. The book's just giving us no wiggle room to bet this game. Now, the Minnesota Wild and the Buffalo Sabres is a really interesting game, you guys, and I'm going to take the Buffalo Sabres. I'm going to tell you right away. I love what we've seen out of the Minnesota Wild. They've struggled against the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres won both of the matchups last season over the Minnesota Wild. My only fear here is Marc-Andre Fleury. He is expected in goal. We know he can absolutely stand on his head. But we're getting the Buffalo Sabres, who are exploding offensively as of late, averaging that 3.94 goals per game, which is first overall in the league, and 32 shots on goal. Now, they have a phenomenal power play, but they don't have a great face-off. They're not able to win those. They are going to struggle here if they can't find a way to win those face-offs. Now, the Wild are coming in here off a nice big win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. That was a 5-1 win. We rode them there in that game, but I can't ride them here again in this one. They've won their last 2. Again, my biggest fear is Marc-Andre Fleury standing on his head and not allowing these goals to go in by the Buffalo Sabres. If the Buffalo Sabres win this game is going to go over the 6.5. We know how explosive they have been offensively. The problem is with this team, their defense is letting them down, allowing that 3.39 goals per game and 33 shots on goal. And penalty minutes, they are actually doing well. So if they get more penalties in this game, Minnesota wins. If Marc-Andre Fleury stands on his head, Minnesota wins. But you guys, I really do think Buffalo on their home ice right now is going to have a phenomenal game. Sitting on home ice are 8-2 right now, in the Wild being strong on the road. So this is going to be an absolute battle here. I've got to take the value with the Buffalo Sabres at -102 and the over 6.5. So it's going to be a great game, you guys. Make sure you watch that one. Another great game at 7 o'clock Eastern. We have the Seattle Kraken taking on the Ottawa Senators. Now, Forsberg expected in goal for the Sens. He's got a 2.91. Martin Jones expected here for the Seattle Kraken. He's riding a 2.85 4. Now, the Seattle Kraken have been playing strong on the road. They've been covering that puck line on the road. They're coming in here as a small dog at -105, -114 for the Ottawa Senators. And we know how good the Senators have been at home. 11-8-1 at home this season. The Senators' whole problem with their team is their defense. This team offensively has been averaging 3.03 goals per game and 33.3 shots on goal. They're going to have to keep getting these shots on Martin Jones because we know he's had some phenomenally strong games. Now, the Seattle Kraken also have been limiting opponents to 28.1 shots on goal. We saw what they were able to do over the Edmonton Oilers. I think this is going to be a complete battle on the ice. Again, I was trying to look for some sort of value here. With this total sitting at 6, I was looking at both teams total over, and my book's giving me over 2.5 for both of these, which is juice, so I don't like it. But one thing they're not juicing too highly, it's still a little juiced at -134, is the over 1.5 in the first period. We know how explosive both of these offenses can be, and I like the ability for both of these offenses to catch the goalies early in this game. Not sleeping, but with that little bit of nerves before they settle into this game. So I'm going to take the first period over 1.5 at -134. I know it's juiced. The Senators just so strong at home, too. I do lean on them to get this win at -114. They're 4-1 in their last 5 overall, 5-1 in their last 6 home games. But this Seattle Kraken team is playing some phenomenal hockey. They're 9-4 in their last 13 on the road this season, you guys, and 13-6 in their last 19 playing on that Wednesday's rest. So they come in here strong. They've won their last 3 games. The Senators have won their last 2. They had a shootout win over the Columbus Blue Jackets. So this is going to be a tricky one, you guys. I lean on the Senators, but I love that first period over 1.5. And I think you can take the full game over a 6 in this one. Buffalo Sabres plus 100 on DraftKings. Great to know, you guys. Make sure you always shop those lines. Get your best value, because with that value, you're going to have more money to bet at the end of the day. You can check out Betstamp. Use referral code Madden over there. Rocco, good afternoon. It's still morning here, 11:43 Mountain Standard Time. That's the time I'm running on this morning. I tell you, it has been a fast morning so far, you guys. Now, don't laugh. Don't make fun of me here. I'm going to ride the Montreal Canadiens today. I hate to say it. It makes me feel green saying it. They're facing the St. Louis Blues. Now, Montreal is at home in this one. We're getting them at plus 132. Right away, this line doesn't look right either. We know Montreal lost their last, 7 games. Montreal is not playing good hockey, but we all know Montreal can play upsets, especially 2 teams that are having these big, long stretches of winning or something like that. Well, the St. Louis Blues are not a long stretch. They've only won their last 2. My problem here with the Blues, they're coming in at -162. Jordan Binnington is expected. All these positives, but we look at their schedule. Now, they lost to the Wild back on December 31st. They have the Wild on deck tomorrow. Beating the Minnesota Wild will be in their head tonight. I don't think this is a game where they expect to lose to Montreal, but I think it's a game where Montreal will catch St. Louis Blues looking ahead, because the Blues have a harder schedule on deck. They have the Wild on deck. They've also struggled in Montreal. They've only won 2 of their last 7 meetings in Montreal. 2 of their last 5 meetings. No, 2 of their last 7 meetings in Montreal. They're also 2-7 in their last 9 games playing on 1 day's rest. I think this is going to be a hard game for them. They're also 1-4 in the last 5 meetings between Montreal. I hate taking Montreal here, you guys. The underdog's 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these two, which is Montreal. I think they get it done. You think it's a great pick on the Canadiens? Okay. We're going to ride this one with our stomachs not feeling good for this whole game. I can guarantee you that if you're on the Montreal Canadiens with me tonight. The Blues, really, it's a hard bet to take the Blues here at that price. The Blues are the better team. We absolutely know that. But this Montreal team, they have a couple of teams' numbers. They have Calgary's number. They have the Blues' number. There's one other, I'm drawing a blank at the top of my head, whose else's number they have. But these teams that they beat them game in, game out. The Blues are going to start off unexpectedly of what Montreal is going to give them. They know Montreal beats them, but you guys, this is going to be one of those games where if you're riding the Blues, you shake your head because I really do think Montreal pulls it off. Now, there's a total of 6.5 in this one. I think we can expect this one to go over. The last time these teams played in October, Montreal won 7-4. It was some freaking pond hockey. I expect it again here tonight. I expect just the St. Louis Blues to be looking ahead. So best of luck with that one. I will be feeling green all night waiting for that game to finish. Now, the LA Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights kick off at 10 o'clock Eastern. The LA Kings coming in here as a dog on the road at plus 134. Minus 162 for the Vegas Golden Knights. We know how hard it is to bet against Vegas on home ice. Phenomenally strong this season, going a 12-9. The LA Kings come in here with a 10-7-3-1 road record. That's hard to put those two R's together this season. Now, Copley is expected for the LA Kings. You guys know how much faith I have in Copley. He's got a 2.65. Now, they lost that last game versus the Boston Bruins in a game I really thought they could get the win on home ice. They'd already beat Boston earlier this season in Boston. Vegas rolling in here, winning their last 3 games. Now, we've got solid defenses out of both of these teams, mainly the Vegas. Vegas's numbers are looking better. The Kings, they have these sporadic games where they either win by a high-scoring battle on the ice or they lock down defensively, hold their opponents to 1 or 2 goals. So I'm a little weary of this total, but I do think we have to hit it over at the number of 6. At the worst, we get the push with a 4-2 with an empty netter. I really do think this is one where both teams stay competitive. Both defenses do play solid games, but the trends all point to these teams going over this total of 6. They play in high-scoring battles when they do match up. The last time these two teams played, like I said, the Kings won at 4-2, so we hit right on that number of 6, and I expect very similar in this. So I'm going to hit the over 6. I'm also going to, I think, sprinkle on the LA Kings here. I can see them pulling this off. When we look at the Kings versus the Pacific, they've won their last 4 games versus the Pacific. When we look at Vegas versus the Pacific, they've lost all 4 of their games versus the Pacific. But they are 4-0 in their last 4 home games. So something to consider there, you guys. It's going to be a hard one. Knights in regulation. I like it. Eichel is back. Yeah, Eichel is back and he's playing strong. We took him in his last game. He was able to get that win and or get that goal. He came out nice and strong out of the gate. So with Eichel back, I think Vegas does pick up a little bit of pace in this game, pushes the Kings to play more of a less defensive game, more of a push forward and get these goals kind of game. So you guys, it's going to be a good one. JP took the Wild. Okay. I wish you the best with the Wild. The Wild with Marc-Andre Fleury. I hate going against them. I really do. It's going to be an absolute struggle on the ice in that game with Marc-Andre Fleury for the Buffalo Sabres to win. So best of luck with the Knights tonight. I can see exactly why it's hard to bet against them on home ice. I would look at that first period. I really do think the Knights win that first period. We know the Vegas Golden Knights in the first period are absolutely phenomenal, especially on home ice. I always love to take them in that first period. You're going to make more money than you don't riding that. Now, the Colorado Avalanche take on the Edmonton Oilers at 10 o'clock Eastern. The Avs coming in here at plus 112, minus 134 for the Oilers, and total 6.5. Now, Edmonton finally got that monkey off their back of not being able to win at home. That happened over the Islanders. I believe it was Wednesday night. They won that game 4-2. Now, Colorado's coming in, losing their last 5 games. They had a terrible loss to the Vancouver Canucks. It was a 4-2 loss to that team there. The Avs 4-0 in their last 4 meetings, but that's because we look at these teams and they played in the playoffs. The Colorado Avalanche absolutely blew Edmonton away after Edmonton had the battle with Calgary to get to that match versus the Colorado Avalanche. I think Edmonton has had this game circled and circled for a long time. They're going to come out strong in this one. I expect Edmonton to win on home ice. Colorado just not healthy at the moment, not playing up to what we need here. And Edmonton finally getting a win at home. They have struggled as a favorite, you guys. I hate to back Dedmonton. You guys know I love calling them Dedmonton here, but I have to. I do think they get this win. I'm not going to put a lot on it because this is a team I really can't trust. What I do like, though, here is that first period over 1.5. I still think there's a little bit of value. We're getting it around minus 140 there for that over 1.5. I think both of these teams come out nice and hard to start this game. We know Edmonton's defense has really let them down. Colorado's defense has been standing tall. But with what a circled game this will be for Connor McDavid and company, I think we can look at those top lines, look at those goal scorers because they're going to come in. They're going to be looking for revenge for what Colorado did to them in the playoffs. We saw it with the Blues and the Rangers game. We've seen this play out this season where that team who lost in the playoffs to another team really has had this one circled in the locker room and couldn't wait for this to come off. You know what? I really hope it is a get right spot for the Avs. You guys know my Calgary Flames are in the Pacific, so I want Edmonton to lose every possible game they can because Calgary is just struggling right now, although they got the win last night, even though I doubted them. So this is going to be an interesting game for sure. I think that first period is what I'm going to hit over, and that's about it. I do lean on Edmonton, though. Now, the Boston Bruins and the San Jose Sharks here. Boston, the clear favorite here. This is one I'm not even questioning on the puck line. I'm just going to take the Boston Bruins, laying the 1.5. There is not much value here, but they're such a better team than the San Jose Sharks. I'd even see if you can extend the puck line up to 2. You're going to get a little bit more value there. I was trying to look for a couple other ways to bet it. And that first period on the puck line actually for the Boston Bruins, we're going to get plus money there. Taking the Boston Bruins minus 0.5 in that first period is plus 114. And that's something to always look at when you have such a difference between these teams. You're really confident. It would be a good one for the Carolina Hurricanes game today as well. Taking that first period puck line for that team that you're pretty confident is going to win the game. And they're such big favorites because, again, minus 0.5 on that puck line, we're getting plus 114. If we take the full game on the puck line, we're not getting as much value. Now, the Boston Bruins are 11-5 on the road on the puck line. Allmark expected, but I really don't think we will see Allmark. We could, though, because the Bruins have no look-ahead situation. They have the Ducks on deck tomorrow, so they're not going to be worried about the Ducks either. The San Jose Sharks, off that loss last night to the Ducks in OT. Now, this is one where the Ducks really freaked me out because I had taken them as a home dog last night, and the Sharks got up to start that game. James Reimer expected in goal for the San Jose Sharks as well. He's got a 3.81. Just such a difference. You could look at the Sharks team total under 2.5. I like that as well. Again, you're going to pay juice at under 2.5 at minus 140, but I really struggle to see where the San Jose Sharks are going to be able to find the back of the net of Allmark in this one. The defense of the Boston Bruins is so phenomenally strong, only allowing 2.16, which is first overall in goals and 29.3 shots on goal. They've also won the last 9 meetings between these two. They're 4-0 in their last 4 meetings in San Jose. Strong trends to that under, you guys. Actually, it's weird. This total 6.5. I'm not going to lie. The last time out these teams played was in February. 3-1 win for the Boston Bruins. I expected this total to be 5.5. So that freaks me out a little when I'm so off from what the books expect, because I can see Boston winning this 4-0 and Allmark getting the shutout if he does come in. I just have no faith in the Sharks to find the back of the net today. Now, the under is 5-2-1 in the last 8 meetings and 9-2-1 in the last 12 in San Jose. So, Oh, that is awesome. I am so glad you live bet that one with the Ducks at plus 350. Really good spot to do that. It's absolutely the best when you have faith in one team and the other team gets up and you can live bet those games. So, you guys, let's just have a quick look at what is happening between the Rangers and the Devils. It's the end of the first right now. The Rangers up 1-0 over the New Jersey Devils. Let's do a quick recap, build a quick parlay, and then call it a Saturday. I've got a huge roast prime rib to cook today. So you'll leave out the Rangers. Again, if you're just joining us, I took the Rangers at plus 100 in this. I also took Jack Hughes for that anytime goal for the New Jersey Devils. So if you want to jump on board on Jack Hughes, you're still going to get that value. I got it at plus 152 before. I do think he scores a goal for the New Jersey Devils. He got 2 the last time out. We've been riding him. He hasn't failed us, so I think it's a great way to go. Now, I want to jump on the Rangers right now for the win, because you're not going to get any value. If the Devils tie this one up, then that's a great time to live bet the Rangers still to get the win, because then you're going to get some plus money. Now, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Canes minus 1.5 at minus 125. Not much value here, but I do think the Canes get the win. And they cover this puck line. They're just such a better team than the Columbus Blue Jackets. Again, this is one where you can take the Canes in the first period at minus 0.5. You're going to get so much more value there than you will get for the full puck line. And we know the Carolina Hurricanes are absolutely so strong in that first period. They're sitting first in the Metro, and they've dominated this meeting over the Columbus Blue Jackets. So I think Canes in the first period on the puck line is the best bet. Then Canes for the full game on the puck line, minus 1.5 at minus 125. Let's stay off the total of this one, because it all just depends on how many goals the Canes decide they want to score today. The Detroit Red Wings and the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Toronto all day long. They're going to get a nice big win on home ice. They've lost their last 2 on home ice. So this is one where this team is going to look to step up. The Red Wings losing their last 2 games, but on the road here with Hellberg expected in goal. Samsonov confirmed for Toronto. So give me the Leafs here, minus 1.5 on that puck line as well. Again, this is one where you could take Toronto in that first period. The nice thing about the first periods is you have no empty netters. So taking them 0.5 in that first period, laying the 0.5, you're going to get some great value there and don't have to sweat out that empty, that extra man, because they pull the goalie on the other side. Now, the Minnesota Wild and the Buffalo Sabres, you guys, I hate to do it, but I am going to take the Sabres over the Wild. I love Marc-Andre Fleury, and I love the Wild and what they're doing. But I think off that big win over Tampa, 5-1 win, and how Buffalo has played them, this is a perfect situation for the Buffalo Sabres to come out strong in this one. I do love the over 6.5 in this game as well. For the Buffalo Sabres to win this, they really have to pick apart Marc-Andre Fleury. So I think that happens in this one. The Seattle Kraken and the Ottawa Senators. Again, this is one where I'm struggling to find some value. I liked both teams' totals over, but again, these team totals are juiced. I think hitting the over 6 is a great way to go. I'm going to throw into the parlay the Kraken and the Sens first period over 1.5. I do think that comes in nicely. I think both of these teams really come out strong in that first period. Now, the St. Louis Blues and the Montreal Canadiens, the one that's making me feel sick, even saying it again here, you guys, I'm going to take Montreal plus 132 on that money line. They have the St. Louis Blues' number, and the Blues have the Wild on deck. The Wild beat them back December 31st. I think the Blues overlook the Montreal Canadiens. I might take Montreal in the first period as well, because we know St. Louis is one of those teams that keeps digging back. It actually might be a better way to play this, this full game. The Blues have struggled in Montreal as well. For the parlay, let's throw Montreal on the puck line. Please don't bet that as a straight up bet. You're going to get no value at plus 1.5, because they're only plus 132 dogs. But for parlay reasons, I'll throw that one in there. It's going to be a great game. I think that one goes over the total of 6.5 as well. Remember last time they played Montreal, had a big win, 7-4. So it was pond hockey, you guys. The LA Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights. I hate to go against Vegas, but with Copley expected in goal for the LA Kings, I lean on the Kings to get the win here. Vegas in the first period, though, has been money for us, and I can see them winning that first period and then the Kings winning this full game. I think the best bet, though, of this game is to take the over 6 for the full game. I really do think, although we have two elite defenses, you guys made a good point with Jack Eichel back, and that sparked something, me loving this total over 6 even more. I think the Kings are going to have to adjust to the style of game Vegas will play with Jack Eichel. I think they come out with a stronger offensive game and a slower defensive game in this one and really explode, and the Kings are going to have to keep up. So I think the best bet in this one is the LA Kings and Vegas over 6. And that one is a good one to single bet as well. Great value there. Now the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to take that first period for the Avs and the Oilers over 1.5. I do think both these teams come out with something to prove. The Avs have been struggling to score, but I could see Edmonton getting both the goals themselves. So I'm pretty confident that there'll be 2 goals in the first period in this one. I do lean on Edmonton because, again, you guys, I think Edmonton has this game completely circled. They want to beat the Avs. The Avs still aren't 100% right now. Look at Connor McDavid. Look at Draisaitl. Look at their top line for these anytime goals and their shots on goal tonight. Because while the Colorado Avalanche are averaging 33 shots on goal themselves, they're allowing that 32, and Edmonton's averaging that 32.2. I really do think we're going to see Edmonton flying offensively. They have to win this in a higher scoring battle, in my opinion. Then the last game on the board, you guys, the Boston Bruins taking on the San Jose Sharks. I'm going to hit the Bruins in the first period, minus 0.5 at plus 114. I think that is my favorite bet of the day. I really do see the Sharks struggling to score in this matchup versus Boston. So for the parlay, I'm going to throw the Sharks under 2.5 at minus 140 for that parlay. I would single bet that one too. There's still not that much value, but it is a great way to go. Now, recap that parlay. I'm going to do the Canes, the Carolina Hurricanes minus 1.5 on the puck line, the Leafs minus 1.5 on the puck line, the Sabres on the money line minus 102, the Kraken and the Sens first period over 1.5, Montreal on the puck line plus 1.5, the LA Kings and Vegas over 6, the Avs and the Oilers first period over 1.5, and the Sharks team total under 2.5. Now, if you want to make it a little bit safer, you're going to adjust your odds a bit, but it's still going to be a good payout to take the Canes on the money line, the Leafs on the money line. And yeah, that's it. So it's going to be a really good game. Can't fade anything Buffalo right now. Yeah, I agree with you. Buffalo is so strong right now. Okay, Kev, you need one more. The Rangers and the Buffalo Sabres, you guys. We just brought it up. The Buffalo Sabres playing some great hockey at the moment. They are coming in as a slight dog in this one at minus 102. The Montreal Canadiens, Kev, also really do have the St. Louis Blues' number. I expect them to get the win today. It's going to be a great game on this ice. Happy Saturday to everyone. Why are the Bolts plus money? Well, the Bolts are plus money because everyone expects the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Ravens. The Cincinnati Bengals beating the Ravens equals the Bolts locked in 5th place. They will not be playing any of their starters tomorrow if Cincy wins that game over the Ravens. Now, the best thing you can do here is watch that Cincy Ravens game. If it looks like the Ravens are going to pull off the upset over the Cincinnati Bengals, you got to hit the Chargers on the money line, because the Chargers, if the Ravens win, they have to beat Denver. Otherwise, they slip to 6. At 5th place, they will play the winner of the Jaguars and the Titans. If they slip to 6, they have to play Kansas City, the Buffalo Bills, or the Cincinnati Bengals. They absolutely do not want to do that, you guys. It's going to be it's going to be crazy. If they have to do that, it's just not good. Now, I'm looking at the under in that one. I think the game stays under the total no matter what. We have Russell Wilson and company. That offense is not good for the Denver Broncos. This is still a divisional game, so the next man up kind of thing in LA is going to be a little bit of a factor here for that offense of the Denver Broncos. I think it stays under. The Denver Broncos defense is really solid as well. So it's going to be a crazy game. Again, watch Cincy and watch the Ravens. If the Ravens have even the slightest chance of winning that game, that line is going to start skyrocketing. Chargers will be the favorite. They're going to be laying 7 points or something crazy if the Ravens end up winning it. So watch the games tomorrow. There's so many games that have impacts on the other games. So make sure you guys watch this. Enjoy the games today as well, you guys. Best bets today. I hate to say it. Montreal Canadiens on the money line. We're going to take, who else are we taking? Oh, you guys got me all excited for football. Okay, Montreal Canadiens we're going to take on the money line. I also really do think we have a complete battle in Edmonton. I think that over in that first period is a great way. I think Boston laying 1.5 for the full game, but I do love Boston in that first period, minus 0.5 on that puck line. You're getting plus money there. And then give me the Buffalo Sabres. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Don't miss out on tomorrow's show. I don't know what time. What time do games start tomorrow? Let's just have a look and try to get it up early today or tomorrow. I'm sorry we missed that start of the Rangers game there, but hopefully you guys saw the post and I will. Oh, we've got plenty of time tomorrow. Games kick off at 3 o'clock Eastern. We've got a really full slate with 8 games tomorrow. You guys, some interesting matchups. Calgary back on the road taking on the Blackhawks. Again, like I said, the Blues taking on the Minnesota Wild. Both these teams playing today. The Wild on the road today, the St. Louis Blues on the road today. That game tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern is going to be lit. The Stars back in action versus the Panthers. You guys, early lines, we got some really interesting games here. I'm excited. I can't wait. We got the Capitals huge favorites over the Blue Jackets. It'll be a great day. I will see you back here tomorrow. I will try to get the show up by 1 o'clock Eastern. 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. I won't be late. You guys don't be late. Have a great day. Keep smiling. Let's make some frickin' money. And let's get Jack Hughes for that anytime goal, Matt. You guys have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some frickin' money. Bye now.